rendition of the national anthem, which is, you have to imagine that I'm not Reed Landry right now, I am Scott Stapp from Creed. And this intimate comedy room, this is the Talladega Motor Speedway, fastest motor speedway in all of NASCAR. And here we go, alright, so take your fucking hats off and let's do it, guys. Oh, say, can you see? By dawn's early glare, what so proudly we hear at the twilight's last here, whose eyes can bright star through perilous fire. Oh, ramparts we walk, we're so gallantly street, yeah, and the rocket's red glass comes bursting, oh yeah, can't prove through the night that our flag was still here. For the land of the free and the whole of the yeah. Let's finally get started. Gotta pay respects. You know, they don't have comedy in Russia. They don't even have an anthem, as far as I know.
So this time last year, I graduated college. Thank you. It took me way longer than it should have. I remember it was the first day of the last of my classes, and you have to get up, say your name, your year. This girl gets up, and she's like, "Hey, I'm Kelsey. This is my 5th year. So I'm a super senior, right?" And then it's my turn. And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Natasha. This is my 7th year. I'm an alcoholic." Fun fact, we're learning. Didn't expect that, all right? Female kangaroos have 3 vaginas. Did you guys know? No. Yeah, well, it's good. It'd be weird if you did that. Like, oh, I know. Everybody knows. They do, and the thing is they evolved to have 3, like, sluts, am I right? What are they doing? I never went through a slut phase, because my dad was there. But also, because when I was 16, my mom was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, oh, maybe some books, like I'm going through a reading phase, you know. So she gets, people always laugh at that, like, reading. So she gets me 2 books. She gets me Tickle His Pickle, not a kid's book. No, it's a pop-up book. And then she got me The Guide to Getting It On, which is an 800-page manual. Like, it's still embedded in my brain. Chapter 8, Balls, Balls, Balls. That was the title. And after reading that at 16, I'm like, no, oh my God. But because of that, whenever I was in a situation where I might hook up with someone, you know, I'd get excited and be like, I read about this in my book. And I'd be like, what? And so didn't get any action when I was a teenager. And then later in life, I found myself in situations that I did not read about in my book. Like, there is nothing in there about you holding your penis and bopping me on the nose and saying, quit hitting yourself, quit hitting yourself. I'm really awkward with pillow talk also, like the sexy talk in the bedroom. It's like some kind of exam, like you have your yes or no portion in the beginning. And he's like, do you like it? And you're like, yes. Are you gonna come? No. And then there's like the multiple choice part where he wants to know like where you want his jizz. And he's like, you want it on your face, you want it on your tits, and you're like, none of the above. Like, my ankle's fine. I grew up with movies. My parents, they weren't home a lot, so they just would like leave movies home for us to watch. So because of that, I had so many crushes on these like TV and film characters, you know? And like I knew that it was faked, and we were meant to be these characters I had crushes on. You know, at 5, it felt so real. But then I actually did get older. Where I was old enough to like go meet these people, and I realized all of them are cartoons, and they're not real. Like the fox from Fox and the Hound, sexy. Like, still now, I don't care. Or like Robin Hood, not Kevin Costner, but again, the fox. Yeah. Again, this guy, yes, the fox, I agree. But because of those crushes, I feel like now I have these weird expectations for men, like real men, not cartoons. You know, like I want a guy who talks to animals, or a guy who randomly bursts into song about what he's doing at the moment. Or just a guy who only owns one outfit. So basically, my dream guy is a homeless man. So things are going well. I'll end on this. I have been told recently a few times that my scent is kind of like a cigarettes and string cheese. What? Yeah, So I've started, right, if that scent was like in a bottle, it'd be called like lung cancer lunchable, you know, like it's not sexy. So I've started wearing perfume, and my perfume is called You and I. So based on that title, now I smell like cigarettes, string cheese, and whoever happens to be nearby, like this guy. Yeah. But I thought like it's too strong. Like, I'll admit, it is too strong. It was free. It's a One Direction perfume. My parents gave to me. Don't know how they had it. And it's too much. But I thought it was bad until this like group of old ladies walked by me, and that was just like, it's, you know, and I feel bad because they're like known for like smelling way too strong. But I think it's because they haven't figured out, because they don't need to smell good. They're not trying to attract people. You know what I mean? They've got grandkids and jewelry that makes a lot of noise. Like, they figured it out, man. I think they just need a scent that gives them the bravado to write a check for $5. That's what they do. But I was looking up other perfumes, trying to like, you know, kind of research what I should wear. And all the names were like, there was Reveal and temptress and ageless. Like, which I don't get. Like, I'm supposed to have a scent that lures men into thinking I don't have a birthday? Like, that's a privilege to know your birthday. People used to not know. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, oh, Chadwick, I don't have a birthday. I was born in space. The space between 2 days. It's like leap year, Chadwick, but people actually give a shit. So yes, Chadwick, I am ageless. I'm just a revealing, tempting 5'9" toddler. I'd put on a tantrum, but that scent doesn't come out until October. Like, that's just so dumb. But I kind of want to start my own line of perfumes for women who just want men to fuck off. And I give them names like Commitment by Faria. Or if I'm on a diet, you're on a diet by Faria. Or just a simple, I've seen bigger. Natasha Farrier, thank you.
My friend and co-worker, Donnie Marsh.
All right. I went to Old Navy today, so not a great day. And I got a receipt. The cashier told me, like, hey, on your receipt, there's a survey. Fill it out. Might get some bonus cash. I was like, all right. So I went back home, didn't have anything to do. So I filled out the survey on the receipt. The first thing it asked me was, how old are you? I put 35. They were like, end of survey. Don't need to hear any more from you. Then I realized that I've graduated from the coveted 18 to 34 demographic that really runs everything as far as marketers are concerned. And that's really stupid, because 18-year-olds and 34-year-olds have nothing in common unless you're a senile billionaire who's like 85 years old, in which case you'll marry either one of them, you don't care. But I figured, okay, now that I'm 35, I'm like, cool, now at least there's one perk. I can talk trash about millennials. Finally. Have you met these people? They're so ignorant and lazy. Like, they don't have the shared experiences of our generation, you know? They don't remember where they were when LBJ pardoned Martin Luther King for shooting Kennedy. Like, they don't remember where they were when the first woman was invented. Like, they don't know their history. They don't know basic historical facts. Like in 1790, Eli Whitney invented the what? Cotton gin, that's right. It was so important. It revolutionized the South forever because it could turn cotton into gin. And it destroyed so many families from alcoholism. It's always been hard for me to get good advice on sex. Going back to when I was 9 years old and I was first curious about it, I went to the local expert, my next door neighbor Eddie, who was 10. Remember when you were a kid and every kid a year older than you is just an authority on everything? So I went and asked him if he knew anything about it, and he realized I would believe anything. So he was like, oh yeah, I'm already having sex. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, with who? He's like, some 15-year-old. I was like, wow, 15. It's so sophisticated. It's amazing. I said, well, what's it like? And he was like, oh, it's real tricky. You gotta be careful. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, it's confusing because, you know, there's 4 holes. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. There's one where the penis goes in, one where the baby comes out, one that they pee out of, the other one where they have the period. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was picturing like one of those old-timey guns with 4 bullet chambers, you know? And he's like, you gotta find the right one. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so confusing. I was really intimidated, and I have to be honest, like, no matter how much I dig and scratch, I never find 4. I found like 2.5. I'm just kidding. I'm an expert on sex, honestly. I'm the authority. Oh. Okay, I see some of you are skeptical. All right, I'll prove it. I've done it a whole bunch of times. There's a bunch of different ways. There's a lot of positions, the sleepy zebra, the wily watchmaker, the overly aggressive mortgage lender. And if you need any help, like if you would like to have more sex, I've got a great tip for you. Get married. Some people are skeptical. Oh, whoa. It's like, married people don't have that much sex. Sometimes down the road, they don't have as much sex. But you know what they do before that? They have a lot of sex. So here's my guarantee to you. If you feel like you don't have enough sex, if you're, especially, like, you're just like, I'm never gonna get laid, I'll tell you what you do. This year, get married. And if you don't have sex at least 10 times, I will have sex with you. I get words mixed up sometimes, and it gets me into a lot of trouble. Like a couple of years ago when ISIS first became famous, I got them mixed up with the popular British rock band Oasis. And that led to a very unfortunate and heated argument with my uncle on Facebook, because he's a Gulf War vet, has some ties over there, and he was like, ISIS is terrible, they have to be stopped. And I was like, I don't know, they're kind of a guilty pleasure for me, It's like, I like their videos, they're kind of funny. It's like, they hate everybody, they think they're better than everybody else, but they fight each other too, And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, they're bad boys. And he was like, they're modern day Nazis. I was like, I think you're overreacting. Unfortunately, we had this conversation on Facebook, and now I'm on the no-fly list. Seems like a big drug crowd in here. I don't know. Maybe a vocal minority. I like drugs. My favorite drug, though, is testosterone. It is amazing. I've been high on it since I was 13 years old. For those of you who don't get to partake in it, testosterone is a hallucinogen that makes men think that they're funny. And, it's so good. If women could take it recreationally, they would never stop. Because I wake up every morning thinking, everyone wants to hear what I have to say! I'm certain of every opinion I have! And I know where I want to eat, and I'm just gonna go there. You guys have been great! Great comic. Give it up for Ryan Darling.
Donnie Marsh, everybody. It's just really special. Donnie is kind of like the dad of the Chattanooga comedy scene. Not in the way he's responsible for anything, but as much as he just will come up to you at a show and be like, you see this sweater? I got it on sale. Anyway, I like that. You guys are a good crowd. I'm trying to act natural. There's a lot of cameras here. I kind of feel like a model for depression. So I'm just gonna try and loosen up with just a good old goofy joke. So here we go. What did the Czechoslovakian doctor say to the woman who gave birth to conjoined twins?
What?
Would you like separate chicks? Oh, the joke is way worse. What did the Chinese doctor say to the woman who gave birth to conjoined twins? He said, oh, hello, nice radio, would you like separate chicks? Guys, that was a test to see where my racists were at. And you could pan over here. That guy's racist! What the guy actually said was, what the Chinese doctor said was, you can keep the boy. Groaning's the same as laughing. Anyway, I was a homeschooler. Homeschooling's a little weird. For instance, we didn't have science. We just took Bible twice. That's how we did it. My favorite science lesson was the story of Noah and the Ark. Real fun thing that the Bible leaves out of that story is that Noah not only picked up the animals, but he also dropped them off in their proper climates. Allegedly. Like, I like to believe that Noah and the penguins just did not get along at all. That for 40 days and 40 nights, the penguins were just like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? He's like, I swear to God, if you guys don't shut up, I will turn this ark around and drop you off in the frozen tundra with nothing but a bunch of bears. And since God made you flightless, you're evolutionarily fucked. It never fails that every time I tell that joke, somebody will come up to me after the show and be like, hey, you do realize that penguins and polar bears are actually on completely different sides of the planet? To which I always respond, I didn't know that because I was fucking homeschooled. I've been trying to stay in shape. I have been going to spin class and yoga because I am trying to get the body of a MILF, you guys. That is what I am going for. I think I just kind of look like, you can get it here on the... I look like about 3 months. Like, I feel like I'm about to give birth to a PBR. Like, that's what's going to happen. So, despite popular belief, I've not been arrested. Some people woo, you're not supposed to get arrested. But I did, like, I have a trick. My trick to not getting arrested is I just treat cops with the respect they didn't get in high school, which made them become cops in the first place. One of my favorite movies, my favorite movie of all time is the movie Jaws. And it's kind of my downfall too, because now anytime I see a movie, I just compare it to the movie Jaws. Like, for instance, you know the movie Love Actually? Yeah. It's basically Jaws, except instead of a shark, it's just not telling somebody how you feel on Christmas. Sharknado, that's the Jaws of Twister movies. Or the Twister of Jaws movies, however you want to look at it. Anyway, I'm 30 years old and I just moved out of my parents' house. It does not deserve that, but thank you anyway. But to get readjusted with life, I did buy 2 cats, and I just named them Mom and Dad. And much like my real parents, they just sit there and silently judge me. I also got a dog. He's half pit bull, half breakup dog. Dude, don't awe that. That's a good joke. It's a fucking solid joke. Half pit bull, half breakup. And this is like a big thing in my life to get a dog because like my parents always discouraged me from getting a dog when I was a kid. Like when I was 6 years old, I asked my parents if I could have a puppy. And my dad was like, sure thing, champ, we'll get you a puppy right away. But first, we're going to make you watch this little movie called Old Yeller. And if you haven't seen Old Yeller, it's basically the Jaws of having to kill your own childhood pet movies. It's that one. I get a lot of that pressure to get married these days. It's tough. Dating is difficult. I don't even do the Tinder thing. Like, instead of meeting girls online, what I'll do is I'll just go to the public library for just hours on end, and I will look through the bookshelves to hope I make eye contact with somebody on the other aisle, and I hope that person's my soulmate. And it hasn't worked yet. I've seen a whole lot of homeless guys jerking off. No soulmates. I'm still holding out hope. There's a woman I'm very much so in love with who just recently became single. So I'm really holding out that she'll walk into the Chattanooga Public Library someday. Her name is Mandy Moore. And I'm really hoping she gets a library card, you guys. Mandy Moore, she's great. She just got divorced from Ryan Adams. And Ryan Adams fucked that shit up. So, I don't know. I think everybody thinks I'm real serious about Mandy Moore right now. Because if you don't think so, I really am serious about Mandy Moore right now. I fucking love Mandy Moore. I love her so much. I've seen every movie she's ever done in the movie theaters. I saw How to Deal. I saw Chasing Liberty twice in theater. I paid money for that movie. My favorite thing she was ever in was this little romantic comedy in the early 2000s called A Walk to Remember. It's a great little romantic comedy. It's basically the story of Romeo and Juliet, but instead of like the Capulets and the Romulans, you just have it's Shane West having a bad attitude about being in the school play. And then Mandy Moore just has to battle brain cancer. It's a real fish out of water story, you guys, in the sense that when you take a fish out of water, it dies. They didn't make a sequel to A Walk to Remember. They didn't. There was no like A Walk like to Remember. It doesn't happen. And the reason they couldn't make that movie is because like young hot widowers get so much pussy. Are you kidding? You know how sympathetic you look immediately? Oh my God, I would fucking kill to have a dead wife. Thank you guys. It's my time.
It's been a strange day. This is my second shirt of the day. I was taking a piss earlier today, and one of the buttons popped off and it fell into the toilet. And I was sitting there examining which one of the buttons it could have been, and I realized it was one of the unfastened buttons. Guys, you'll never feel as fat in your entire life as the day that the unfastened buttons simply can't take it anymore. I like to think it was just like sitting there looking up at the rest of the shirt, just seeing the horrible fate that awaited him, you know? And he was like, fuck it, I am getting out of here while I can. I will take my chances in the water and whatever lies beyond. I work as a waiter, which is fun. I work at a restaurant that's got really strange policies that I don't really understand. One of the policies is that you have to be clean shaven unless you're growing a beard. Which never really made sense to me because A, I didn't know that there were other options. And B, I wasn't aware that you could take basic facts about the universe and proclaim them to be restaurant policy. I didn't know that you could be like, hey man, from now on, when you drop a cup, it's gonna accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared towards the ground. That's our new policy. I get a lot of complaints there at my job. I got so many that I just stopped giving my name to tables, which really backfired, because now all the Yelp reviews just describe me physically. So there's a bunch of reviews on Yelp that are like Jack White who ate his feelings only refilled my tea one time. Or unsuccessful Bobby Moynihan made us wait for hours before he took my order. Or Samuel Tarly wearing a Jon Snow costume called my mom a dick. I'm glad you guys liked that joke. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. You guys didn't really consider that, did you? You know, I usually don't get off work till like 3 o'clock in the morning. I usually don't get home and try to unwind until about 4 o'clock. So, it's rough. Like, you know, I think how late it is relative, you know? Like, I don't think 4 o'clock is that late, but my neighbors do because they keep fucking calling the cops on me. Even though I'm just trying to listen to the new Radiohead album. You know, I'm trying to mind my own business. And as a night owl, I don't really get that same luxury. Like, I can't do that to them. I don't get to call the cops, and they'll be like, what's the problem? I'll be like, it's noon, and they're mowing their goddamn lawn. I can't call the cops and be like, hey, it's those goddamn birds again. They just keep chirping. One good thing I like about being a night owl is I get all my shopping done at Walmart at roughly 3:30 in the morning. And Walmart at 3:30 in the morning has amazing deals. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get a 16-ounce ribeye for the same price as a few bananas at 3:30 in the morning. All you have to do is go to the self-checkout lane and weigh it as bananas. The key here is that you do have to buy at least 1 or 2 bananas. That way, if you get caught, you can just be like, oh, I'm really sorry, it's 3:30 in the morning, I'm so tired. I thought they were bananas. I like wearing my Fitbit at work because, as a waiter, I do a lot of walking, so it's really encouraging at the end of the day. It'll be like, you walked 6 miles today. I'm like, oh, thanks, Fitbit. And then on my days off, my Fitbit will just be like, you have masturbated 2.5 miles today. I'm like, oh, come on, Fitbit. That's not a fair unit of measurement. And then my Fitbit will be like, you have no new matches on Tinder. I'm like, oh, Fitbit, why are you even talking to Tinder? You're a totally separate app. Fucking Fitbit. Oh, my Fitbits are great, again, if this takes off. Great product. So I bought a bike, and I was going to ride it to Taco Bell one day. It was shut up, it's far away Taco Bell. It wasn't close by. So I ride the bike to the Taco Bell, and I get there, and I hike my leg over the seat, and I hear a rip. And I notice that I have ripped my khakis from the bottom of the crotch all the way to the top of the knee. Which wouldn't have been such a huge deal had it not been laundry day. But it was, and I did not have boxers. So my penis is just sort of hanging out, And I realize I am no longer allowed in the Taco Bell. But I traveled a long way, and I still really want some tacos. So I ride my bike around to the drive-thru window. They're kind of dicks. They're like, hey, you have to be in a vehicle, sir. You can't do it in there. And I was just like, I just shook my penis at him. And I was like, you give me tacos if you want this to go away. This is a fun room, man. You guys are a great audience. Give it up for yourselves. Oh, shit. You have high self-esteem, too. Usually I'll do that, and there's one guy who's like, meh. You don't really know me that well. I don't understand, like if you look at the Old Testament and the New Testament, it seems like there were totally different things going on there. Like, Old Testament God was kind of a dick, in a way. Like, he reminds me of, this douchey frat bro who just thought he could do no wrong, and he'd just be like, Job, fuck you! Satan, check this out, look what I'm doing to Job! And then, New Testament God is a lot nicer of a guy. Like that same frat bro was like, shit, man, I got a kid now. I guess everybody just be nice to each other. I used to work with a guy who was a fundamentalist Christian, and I admired that. I admired that faith because I don't have it. So, fundamentalist Christian, he believed that every single word of the Bible was true. And I admired that because this man lives in a world where, the flood, all the plagues, all that shit, it all happened as it's described. And it was at that moment, after everything in the Bible, that God finally went oh shit, physics. I forgot to make physics a thing. There's gonna be a lot of changes from here on out. From now on, global weather patterns. And you know what? Everybody dies once. I was at a festival in Alabama, the worst fucking state in the union. And I was in line for the porta potty, and I've been waiting a while. And just before I could, go into the porta potty, this fucking bro guy cuts me off. And he wasn't like your ordinary bro. He was like a super bro. He was like Judge Bro Brown. He was like Mighty Bro Young. And just before he like closes the door to the urinal on me, fucking Broseph Goebbels looks at me and he says, "Roll Tide." And it was at that moment in my life I decided that the next time I do something terrible, I'm going to end it with the phrase, "Roll Tide." Like the next time I stiff my waiter, I'm just gonna write "Roll Tide" on the check line. Next time I call your baby ugly, I'm gonna scream "Roll Tide" as I walk away. Next time I push over an occupied porta potty, I will scream "Roll Tide" while doing so. And I want all of you in this room to join me in this endeavor until eventually "Roll Tide" has the exact same connotation as white power. Because let's be honest, folks, how different are they really already? They're practically interchangeable. You can just be like, "Man, I fucking love NASCAR because black people never win. Roll Tide." Or, "I'm voting Trump. Roll Tide." It's all the same. You guys have a great night. Let's give it up for your host, Donnie Marsh.
Please welcome to the stage a national treasure, Grace Holtz.
I know you can tell, like, I've been to college, right? And I studied a lot of, like, sociology courses. And in one of these courses, we learned that about birth order and how everyone has literal specific personality traits based on the order of their birth compared to their siblings, right? And I raised my hand. I was like, what about only children? And my sociology professor with a PhD said, social scientists who've dedicated their lives to learn why people act the way they do don't even touch only children. It's like a wild card. Why are you an only child? I'm like, no, I'm not a freak. But I am. I am an only child. Yes, that means I don't have siblings, but more than that, it means that my parents decided to have me because my mom gave my dad an ultimatum. So they planned to have me. She was impregnated with me. She delivered me, and then they met me for a couple of years, and then were like, you know what? I think this is it. I think this is the only one. Like, if this is what we both make, maybe this one should play alone for the rest of her life. When I tell people I'm an only child, it seems like they've discovered the secret of my personality. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. As if apparently I have the social etiquette of a beaver. It's like why is Grace chewing on that tree again? It's like, oh, she's an only child, and someone's like, oh, that makes sense, of course. Wild card. And so we would go on family vacations a lot. A lot. And all it was my two parents getting rip-roaring drunk to forget that they had fucked that one time and created this albino chubby mistake. And so they would like to go to things by themselves a lot, but they would equip me, not with a friend or a pet, but on family vacations they would give me an air horn. And my mom would be like, here you go, we're gonna go over here. If anything gets weird, just blow your horn. So this one time we went on a cruise, and I was 10 years old, and it was a great cruise, and after we got done eating our overpriced escargot or whatever, we were walking around the ship, and my parents wanted to go to a nightclub. So they walk up to the nightclub, and my dad talks to the bouncer, and he's like, hey, is this a 21 and up bar? And he's like, yeah. So my dad got down on one knee. He was like, Grace, you can't come in here. Do you have your horn? And I was like, hell yeah. And he like patted me on the shoulder like the son he would never have. And I just went on my merry way. Those were my family vacations. Oh man. Only children are bizarre, but no, like, more importantly, like no one talks about the parents of only children. Those are fucking freaks. I belonged to two of them. For instance, when I was little, I was obsessed with two things. Just two. Dolly Parton and balloons. And I like to incorporate both of them. And I think it was like I wanted to be her. Like I wanted to have such amazing tits. And like cover them with sequins and like maybe write a hit or 5 songs. And do it so well I had my own amusement park. You know, like... So every time my mom would go to the grocery store, I'd like make her pick me up a pack of balloons. And I'd go home and I'd blow them all up. And I'd lay them on our living room floor, and I'd pick 2, and I'd put them up under my shirt. And that was that. So for a very short time, and my childhood home looked like a very poorly executed surprise birthday party, like hosted by a very well-endowed 6-year-old. Being single is hard, like it is. And every woman is prepared for it. You're out of your mind if you think every girl has not had like that talk with her mom. Like those 3 famous conversations where she sits you down, she gives you like the sex talk. She gives you the what happens when he comes on your face talk. And the breakup talk. And the first talk is like, don't have sex. And the second talk is like, but you're gonna have to let him come on your face. And then the third talk is like, and then he's gonna come over and he's gonna reach in your chest and eat your heart and leave. But you need to still bring him to orgasm and do his homework for at least 3 months after. It's your civic duty. That's love. That's love. And so, like, after I went through this breakup, I did something drastic. Like, I always just do something drastic. And this time it was growing out my bush. Like, I was raised in the generation of, like, porn. Like, I was. Like, all of us, all these women, I'm looking at them, and they were. We were raised in the generation where it's like, oh, you don't have hair down there, you don't have stretch marks, and your boobs can't move except in like a sexual way. Do you know how boobs really move? The other day I went to the grocery store because I was like, you know what? Feminism. Feminism, fuck a bra. I know I'm a double D, but fuck a bra. And I was walking into the gas station and I caught myself in the reflection, and it was just like 2 squirrels in a hammock. Like, that is what boobs really look like. It's not this like cute bouncy thing. They have a life of their fucking own. It is left and right brain. So anyways, I grew out a bush. And after my boyfriend would like, ex-boyfriend would come over and I would like do his homework and shit, I would find his hairs like in my bed. You know, he had this like curly brown, like pretty hair. Like I'd hold it up and I'd be like, God, I fucking miss you. Like, where did you go? Why'd you leave? Right? And then I moved, got brand new sheets, erased that part of my life, and I kept finding his hairs. And like the 5th time it occurred to me, I was like, these are my own fucking pubic hairs. How many times have I held up my own pubic hair and been like, God, I fucking miss you. We were perfect together, why the fuck did you leave? And like, so the other night, I was laying in bed drunk, naked, playing like a game on my phone, like a drunk cyclops. And my ex-boyfriend texted me and he was like, let me come over. And I was like, Yeah, in your dreams, which I let him. And the reason is because, like, I have lost, like, weight since we broke up. I mean, weight. And if you are insane if you think that I was not going to let someone see me naked, that could compare. Like, absolutely. But so I spent like 45 minutes getting ready to look like I didn't get ready at all. And, like, he comes over. And then as he's going down on me to show me that, like, he's really PC and, like, a bush doesn't bug him, even though it's just, like, you can just tell it's just this, like, please pull me back up kind of thing. I was like, actually, I probably should, because, like, I have no fucking idea what's down there. Like, I'm new to it. I'm new to the pubic hair game. I don't know. But I do know that I've given many blowjobs and found bits of toilet paper in, like, the ass fur of the dude. So who fucking knows what's in this jungle? Car keys? The lost socks from the dryer? Oh, look, it's my dad's respect. Like, who knows? Okay, whatever, I'm Grace Holtz.
It's great to be here, and it's great to be here at a hipster's spare room in his apartment. This is art. This is art. My roommate is gonna come back later and pick up his didgeridoo. It's okay. All right. So glad we got a shot of the didgeridoo. This was all I was working with. I love my parents though. My mom, she was real strict on us growing up. I remember one time she said, or I went up to her, I was like, "Hey Mom, me and Zach snuck out of the house last night." She was like, "Zach and I." About to say it again, you're grounded. She didn't have a lot of money for Christmas this year. She wanted to get us a lot of gifts though, so she got me a pair of shoes and just wrapped them separately. So on Christmas morning, I was like, "Oh, I got a shoe." She says, "Now open this one." You find out all kinds of cool things about your family. For example, I've got an uncle who is the Kobe Bryant of cornhole. Right, he's out there, he's playing against people that are half his age, way too competitive. Nobody talks about how he cheats on his wife. Kobe, right? I also went out with a girl on a first date. She lost her earring in my car, and so I found it and I texted her, let her know I found it, and I got no response. I can't even get a text back whether her own jewelry's at stake. I was like, "Are you sure? Just take the... You said your grandma gave you this earring, like right before she passed away, like moments before, like she was on her, like she was like, hold on. Just take the earring, right?" She's like, "Well, I have another grandma, so it's fine. You keep it." I tried the online dating. I signed up for OkCupid, right? And they sent me, like, immediately, they sent me, like, 4 matches. I was like, "Okay, Cupid! Okay! Why'd you pick her?" I don't even do online dating anymore now because I got the secret, you guys. I figured out how to take home somebody from a bar. You want to hear it? Here's how you pick up somebody at a bar. Pretend to be their Uber. It's that easy. Figured it out in the parking lot. This girl came running up to me and she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. My friends are on their way. We're going to the south side. It's like, no, we're going back to my place. Your drinks are already paid for. Your friends can still come. I'm not going to try to kidnap somebody by pretending to be their Uber, you guys. I was on a bicycle. I just hopped in the basket. It was a little ET date. That's my time. Thank you.
Incredibly funny Elijah Cron.
Before I start this off, I just want to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I did get my penis mangled by a Beyblade. Yes, there is video of it on the internet. And no, I will not let my newfound fame go to my head. You guys feeling good? You guys feeling great? I'd probably say on a scale of 1 to 100, I'm probably feeling about a 69, right? Yeah. You guys get it, right? It's a sex number. That's why it's funny. I'm really stressed out recently, you know, and every time I try to relax, those damn teenagers keep trying to steal pies from my windowsill. I'm about to sleep number bed so I can get better sleep. Be less stressed out. Yo, you guys know what number I put it on though, right? 69! Yeah! It's very uncomfortable. I get almost no sleep. There's a basketball player from the 70s whose nickname was Pistol Pete. And he got that nickname from his very accurate jump shot and his penchant for shooting people on a private island, a la the most dangerous game. Here's a fun fact about Pistol Pete. He later died of a heart attack playing a church basketball game, which just goes to show you, God doesn't forget, and he doesn't forgive. Man, I don't really need, some people need alcohol to have fun. I don't really need alcohol to have fun, okay? I don't need alcohol to have a good time. I don't need alcohol to pass out naked in front of a bar. I don't need alcohol to join the French Foreign Legion and commit some war crimes, okay? You guys know Trump, right? His famous, what's the deal with his famous hair? It's so weird, right? We can all agree on that. And then what's even weirder, you go up to him, you brush his hair aside, you see his disgustingly sexy scalp. You peel the skin back, you see his shiny skull. You crack that open, you just see a raccoon pulling on levers. I don't know if you've read the Constitution. Raccoons aren't allowed to be president. I spend a lot of time on internet.com, and my favorite search engine is Ask Jeeves because it makes me feel like a rich guy, like I got a butler fetching stuff for me, like, Jeeves, go fetch me some pornography. You guys ever watching pornography and it's the pool guy scenario and you get disappointed because the guy never ends up fucking the pool? To make counterfeit money, I found out you gotta counterfeit $10 bills or higher because it costs $5 to print one counterfeit bill. But me, I only counterfeit $5 bills. See, I got into it to make money, not make money. So, you know when you buy some beans, right? And it just gets shaken up in your bag too much. You open the can of beans up, sprays everywhere, ruins your day. Here's a fun prank you can do. You see, you get a can of beans, you know, you shake it intentionally, and then you give it to one of your friends as a gift, like is common in today's society. Like here, can of beans for the bean bitch. And they open it and it explodes, instantly killing them. Great prank. You ever have this happen to you? You ever want to say something extremely racist, but your mouth is just too full of dip? So, you guys, are you Donnie's friends?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I work for you.
You're a huge nerd. Where are you from?
Here more or less.
Washington, D.C. That's the home of those liars, right? Like those liars in Congress. What's your name, Mr. Liar?
Trump.
Oh, Mr. Erectile Dysfunction? That makes 0 sense. Why would your last name be a medical condition? I mean, he's from Washington. Of course he's going to lie from D.C. You know. What about you? What about you? What's the question? Shit. What's your favorite movie? Name a movie you like.
I don't watch movies anymore.
This guy? Ruining.
Madagascar.
No.
Fight Club.
Oh, The Godfather. I'm gonna do an impression of The Godfather. I'm the Godfather.
Please welcome the unforgettable Alex Howard.
Hey everybody! I love music so much. My favorite thing in a song is when there's clapping. Like any song with clapping. Yes, I love it. It can literally be anything. Just like, Alex Howard is a big stupid fucking idiot. Oh, that was nice. Shoot. I don't know what it was. Play that back. I need to hear that again. Solid. But it's everywhere in music. You guys remember Adele? That smash hit, Rolling in the Deep? You know why that was so popular? Was it the deep, thought-provoking lyrics? No. Was it Adele's amazing vocal performance? Heck no. No, sir. I'll tell you what it was. Third verse starts, you know what they do? Get all those instruments out of there. Start clapping. It's not even fair. But it's been everywhere in music. Like, they've been doing it for ages. Like, remember the Beach Boys? They clap in every single one of their gosh darn songs. Like, remember I Get Around? Every single verse of that song starts with them clapping and stomping. Stomping's just clapping with your feet. That's not fair. You know what else isn't fair? I was a victim recently of a crime. Happened to me. A package was on my doorstep and it got stolen. And inside this package was a lock and a key. And I hope this is just like a one-off thing, or this could just be the start of the biggest wave of inconvenient crimes the world has ever seen. Like, help, somebody took my bike lock. Your bike okay? Like, yeah, they just took it's inconvenient. Like, how do you even safeguard against crimes like that? Like I bought a Hide-A-Rock fake rock for my Hide-A-Key fake rock. But this criminal mastermind saw through my ruse. He lifted the Hide-A-Rock fake rock, took the Hide-A-Key fake rock, put the Hide-A-Rock fake rock back over the key. That's not what the Hide-A-Rock fake rock's supposed to hide. Ridiculous. So that happened to me. I don't think I know how crime works. It's probably a good thing though, because I do know I could never handle prison. Just wouldn't go well. Like the way I realized this is that one day I was taking a shower and I dropped the soap. And as I reached down to grab it, I just imagined, what if I was in a big open shower? Bunch of naked, muscly dudes, fine mist in the air, muscles rippling. You know what would happen, man? He'd make fun of me. He's so embarrassing. They call me like Butterfingers or something. They'd never let me live it down. Like afterwards, I go to the prison library, try to read a book or something, and some guy who's not even in my cell block would just like walk up and be like, oh, can't even hold on to that, can you? Butterfingers. You know, be all depressed, go back to my cell. Cellmate's there, I'm looking down. He's just like, what's wrong, Miss A? I go, man, Snake Eyes. It's been a rough day. Drop the soap, people are making fun of me, it's just tough. It's like, oh, don't worry, man, I got you. Here. Too slow. Butterfingers. Like, what do you do in that situation? You like find a guard or something? Just like, Mr. Guard Wilkinson, can you help me? A lot of the other prisoners are being really mean to me. I dropped the soap and they're calling me names, and it's just, prison's not fun anymore. It's like, oh, don't worry, little buddy. I'll talk to him, okay? Or just get back up there. Scamper off. And you know, recess would come around, be out in the yard, everybody's having a decent time. And they just walk up to me and be like, hey, Butterfingers. What? Heard you talk to Guard Wilkinson. Says, you don't like the way we're treating you. Like, well, no, I mean, I didn't say anything. I just, you know, I know you guys don't like tattlers. No, it's like, no, we know you said it. Makes you a snitch. You know what snitches get, right? In art class, you only get to do crochet. It's like, no, that's not fair, all right? Like, the prison is not well funded. All we got is red thread, and the only template they have is for a fucking apple. You can't even make like a leaf and get creative, do like a little worm. It's not good. You're never gonna get a gold star with just red thread. Prison's hell. Not gonna go there. I went and worked at a chicken processing plant. And when people hear that, they always seem to assume that I killed chickens. It's not true. We had a machine for that. It was very effective. But it wasn't perfect. Occasionally there was one chicken that was a little bit smarter than all the others. And a little something special happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chicken Ninja Warrior! Our contestant tonight is a free-range organic bird, but don't let that pedigree fool you, folks. He has the same wish as every single contestant before him to not die. But enough about him. First obstacle's coming up. Let's check it out. It's gonna be the Stunner. One touch of this electrified platform will leave our contestant completely unawares for the horrors that await him. Let's see how he handles it. Oh, what an incredible dodge! It was amazing! But hey, no time to celebrate yet. We're getting to obstacle number 2, the Auto Blade. This revolving piece of metal has the ability to decapitate over 1,000 chickens every single hour. What is our contestant gonna do? The athleticism is incredible! We've never seen a contestant of this magnitude. I can't believe it. But here comes obstacle number 3. It's the quality assurance technician, the crowd favorite. This minimum wage worker spends 8 hours every single day watching dead chickens go by, waiting for one chance to take his aggression out on something other than his family. But wait, what's this? The quality assurance technician stepped out for a smoke break without notifying the supervisor. Looks like our contestant gets a free pass onto the final obstacle, the boiler room. He's been pretty quick so far, but he's going to need a little bit of endurance for this one, folks. Let's see how it goes. Oh! He burned to death. That's going to do it for tonight's episode of Chicken Ninja Warrior. I'm your host, Alex Howard. God bless America.
The very funny Reed Landry. I don't get bird watching, y'all. I don't understand it as a pastime. Because I'm more of a people watcher, right? I watch people. So, like, I go out with my bird watching friends. They get really annoyed with me. Because apparently you're not supposed to talk shit about the birds when you watch the birds. Nobody told me that, all right? I'm like, oh, look at this snow owl over here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Malting? You're malting already? Never gonna get any snow owl pussy malting in July. Come on. This fucking goose. Hey, south that way, buddy. I think I'm missing my calling right now. I want to work in porn, guys. Not as an actor, not as the dick or a fluffer or anything like that. I don't have the stamina for that. It's gross. I just want to be the guy that names the movies, all right? I think I have a gift. I've got a whole list. I'm just going to rifle them off for you right here, okay? We all know the basics, you know, you got Saving Ryan's Privates, Forrest Hump, the Tom Spanks collection, Pacific Rim Job, It Swallows, Battlefield Girth, The Hills Have Tits. They don't all have to rhyme, all right? Fatty Shack, Pound Hog Stay, Schindler's Fist, Basic Ass Stick, Reservoir Pogs is one I'm kind of proud of. Anybody not laughing at Reservoir Pogs, I will enlighten you. POG is a porn acronym that stands for Fat Ass White Girls, also known as Reed's Type. So, there you go. There's the joke there. You got your basic ass stink, pump friction, hateful rape, requiem for a cream, Diddler on a Roof, Gladiator, got the talented Fister Ripley, Boys into Clitoral Hood, Oh, She's 11, and Piece de Resistance, my personal favorite, because this one took a lot of time. It's a lot of words removed, but it still works out as one poo over the cuckold's chest. Right? Thank you. That's like 3 word changes. You still know where I'm coming from. Nurse Ratchet. I'm the only one. Well, I'm done with that fucking... It's a souvenir for somebody. I love going to the Lookouts games. It's our local team here in Chattanooga, the Chattanooga Lookouts. It's our baseball team. I'm not even a baseball fan, but I love going to the games because for $7, I can show up there and get hammered drunk and just yell at a third baseman for like 4 hours, and it's great. And social media has really enhanced this experience because I can like Facebook the guys beforehand, before they get up there. I'm like, oh, you Google them, you get their stats, you check their Facebook, it gives you a lot of fuel for the fire. You know, hey, Zach Shank! That was his name. Zach Shank, you 5'9" son of a bitch. What do you weigh, approximately 180 pounds? I see you were batting like a .3 something last year. I don't know if that's even good. I noticed on Facebook you were standing in a gazebo. What's the point of gazebos, Zach Shank? What are those, New Balances? They look like old Balances. Anyways, it goes on and on and on. It never ends. It's a great way to spend an afternoon. I want to take it to the next level. Now that I started Facebooking these guys, I want to see who our season closer is and start catfishing this third baseman for like 3 months, right? I want to get this guy to divulge everything about his life to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when the game's on the line, bottom of the 7th, that's when I let him have it. You know, hey, Zach Shank, by the way, that chick Amy that you've been chatting with on Facebook was me the whole time. I know that deep down in your heart you never think you're going to go pro, but really you're just playing ball to satisfy your dad because you think that'll make him really love you. Got plenty of time.
Reed, do you get hot?
Oh, dude. I get hot. By request. I will do jokes by request. I get higher than anybody. Let me tell you. Folks, do you folks in this weird murder room, do y'all like to get high? Dude, I get higher than anybody, bro. And I'm going to tell you why right now, dude. Ghost hits, bro. Fucking ghost hits, man. You take that rip. You gotta fucking hold it, dude. You hold that shit, alright? See, Bill Clinton, he never inhaled. I never exhaled. And that's why I get way higher than Bill Clinton. I'm still holding a hit in from his administration. Alright? And there it goes. There it goes, alright? The trick to getting higher than anybody, right? Okay, you get a fat bag of weed, okay? You smoke down, you chief down on that all day, all night, 24/7. You're chiefing. Right? You're splitting it with your homies. Sometimes you're not, because you're like, I gotta get higher than you, otherwise I'm not higher than anybody. Alright? Then guess what? Eventually you run out of weed. You're calling your boy, he's not answering. So then what do? Resin hits, y'all. You're fucking taking resin hits out of the bowl. Eventually you scrape your whole bowl dry. It's crystal clear. You got no resin. Then what are you gonna do? You smoke your own hair, dude. Because there's weed in there. That's why I lost my last job. Eventually you're completely bald, still higher than anybody, but you're starting to fade. Then what? Black tar heroin. It's great. But I love quantum mechanics, I love quantum theories, it blows my mind. I just wish that was a job that I could get as a quantum mechanic. I think it would be great. You know, like, listen, lady, I don't know, like, if it's, you know, your fan belt done came undid, or like really on like the molecular level, electrons and atoms and nothing else ever really touches anyway. So who's to say if it is ever really connected, or even really like while I'm talking to you right now and your car's in the garage, that it's not just a wave of probability waiting for my mental mind to assert it into the physical realm. Or maybe it's like your alternators. It's funny because I don't know shit about cars or quantum mechanics. No, it's a big old pet peeve of mine. People be like, oh man, you should have read the book. The book was so much better than the movie. Of course the book was better than the movie, man. Your imagination doesn't run on a budget. You know, like, of course, like, the Harry Potter, the movie, would be better if Frankie Muniz played every single character in the film. But it just doesn't make sense to do that on a budget. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun thing you can do with, like, any book, really. Like the Bible, I like to read the Bible. I like to cast it myself. I casted Fran Drescher as the Virgin Mary and Woody Allen as Joseph, the Christmas Story. It's great. Joseph, what are they saying in there? What's going on? Mary, I don't know. I talked to the guy at the desk. He said they were completely booked. He said they were completely booked solid. I don't know what. He said we could sleep in the manger. She said, the manger? God, Joseph, with the animals and the disgusting, it smells like shit in there. Joseph, there's flies. I'm carrying the Savior. The Messiah is in my cuda right now, Joseph. You want me to sleep in a manger? So Mary, I would love to get a room. He just said they were completely booked. I mean, we could maybe walk like 50 more miles down that way and see what they... No, Joseph, I'm set to pop at any second. Jeez, Mary, I don't know what to... I can maybe try to sweeten the deal a little bit with some money or something. No, Joe, don't even bother. I don't know though. They could keep going. All right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you. Give it up for Matt Humphreys.
All right, we've had enough fun. You guys ever have one of those days where it's just like, fuck it? I'm gonna move down to Mexico, become a drug lord. Because dying in a ditch after my last gunfight, smoking a Cuban cigar has gotta be better than this shit. Cause I got to deal with stupid people every fucking day that rob me of my education. They just take it. I feel like I'm gonna have universities that I've attended that are gonna give me a call and be like, Mr. Humphreys, we're gonna need those degrees back. You've been talking to that bitch Becky too long. You're no longer smart enough to have these. I also have a bunch of fucking morons in my group of friends. And sometimes we're in a group text together. Nothing makes me more fucking furious. I was at work and I was just like, hey, how are your guys' days going? I'm a breakfast attendant with a goddamn motherfucking 2 degrees in business finance and fucking applied science. I pour gravy in a bowl. And Taylor's just like, yeah, my day's shit too. But then you get that motherfucker named Josh that's just like, hey, I'm at the beach. So I text Josh back, I'm just like, hey Josh, you still married to that bitch, Becky? stealing my motherfucking education. Swear to God. Have you guys noticed that when you are forced to be friends with somebody, you know, you need a ride or whatever, it's not somebody cool. It's not fucking Will Smith or something. It's fucking Keith with his eating hard-boiled eggs at odd times out of fanny packs. I'm sick and fucking tired of it, man. I mean, I'm just trying to live my life, and then fucking Keiths just keep fucking invading. We got a generation fucking full of Keiths. And you know, I have a theory about this current political environment that it's just a bunch of old people since they vote first. They're just like, we're gonna give you Trump. Because we're on our way out, and fuck you. I think that's exactly how this fucker got up to the place. There's no logical explanation. There's no other logical explanation. That's it. Old people saying, fuck you. Can't wait till I'm old and can say fuck you. Anyways, I got this girlfriend, right? And we were going out to have some food, and some things were closed that were our regular spots. And I was just like, hey, what about KFC? And she said gross. And I got fucking furious. Because with KFC, I've had a longer, better relationship than I've had with my own fucking father. Original recipe is the closest thing that I got to fucking hugs growing up. So this fucking girl says gross. I got furious enough to hit somebody. I don't believe in hitting girls, but I'll hit a fucking Keith anyway. So I found the first one I could find, with the collar flipped up, fucking Sperry's, and I beat the shit out of that guy. I even hurt his feelings. I was like, you're the reason why your parents got divorced. Like, how do you know? So it turns out that a key to a healthy relationship every once in a while is beating the fuck out of the frat guy. So football's coming up. And you know, Alabama's a good football team. They got a coach named Nick Saban. You know how he wins games? He kills puppies. He has a puppy box right over here, and he lets his players get attached to these puppies. And then anytime there's a fucking mistake, he's like, go get a puppy from the puppy box. Then this one player who's had nothing his entire life picks up a puppy, and Nick Saban's just like, that's fucking Bubbles. Nobody likes Bubbles. Get Mr. Ham Ham, that's your favorite. Guy gets Mr. Ham Ham. Mostly big black guys just crying. Hands Mr. Ham Ham to Nick Saban. Nick Saban's just like, yeah! That puppy's dead. That'll teach you to fucking fumble the ball. Killing your favorite puppy every time. A lot of bullying's been going on in the world, or at least in this country. You know why? It's fucking fun. There's nothing that brings joy to my heart when I see somebody that's just like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time, this is great. Well, I have a damaged soul that my father gave to me. So I go up to that person, and I'm like, you don't get to have that! That's also what the Christians do to the gays. They're just like, hey, why are those people so happy? They're breaking the rules. Jesus always wanted to send people to heaven. You know, he sent out the Great Commission. He's just like, get people to go to heaven. Christians' favorite thing is to send people to hell. Joel Osteen does it with a smile on his face as he robs people. The poor. Let's turn the page. Shut the, what the fuck? God damn it! Cameraman. So I had a bully in my life. It was my mom. No, we gotta edit that shit out. Get some fucking laughter in there. I'm not having no fucking alls. My mom was a saint and she did me right and created this. First thing she did, she was just like baking some shit as she did. And I went up to her and I was just like, Mom, I like dinosaurs. Why don't we have dinosaurs anymore? And she was like, well, God doesn't like liars. The dinosaurs lied about pooping in their pants, and then he killed them with fire. I shit my pants that moment, and then lied about it. You know, God, especially in the Christendom world, is still a little fucking weird, you know, especially with like the 3-in-1. Like meshing them together, because Jesus is just like, I'm God, I'm my Father, I'm my Son, I'm also a ghost. How do you get into that? Like, I was just like, it almost sounds like Scientology. Like, that's some weird ass shit. You know, but the thing I don't get are the things like creationism, the things that science have just simply proved wrong. Because here we are in this day and age where we know that it takes 8 minutes for light from our star to get to Earth for us to see that light and respond and just like, oh, look at this glorious world that we live in. 8 fucking minutes. So here we are when we look at the stars, millions and millions and millions of year-old light that enters our eyeballs, and we're just like, we get to see this majestic thing. And these motherfuckers say that the earth is 6,000 years old. Some of those stars are already fucking dead. Fuck you, sir.